Alright y'all, so welcome back to another video, another blessed day. So I did get one more of these shelves put up in the last, I guess the last few days after the last video. There's one right here I haven't quite gotten the full row completed. Probably will get this completed maybe in the next day or two. I'm not really in a big rush. The next shelf will go, like I was saying the last time, like right across from the way this one's set up on the right. Not really in a super quick hurry to kind of get things done. I think I've kind of narrowed it down to where I'm gonna try to skew at least 300 to 500 items per week, because otherwise it's just an overwhelming task. So that's just kind of what the process is. I did get one of these, this first shelf. It's completely filled now, and I was able to fit about right at like 500 items. I had like a bunch of kind of bulky jeans. I did put like some hoodies that were a little bit heavier that took up a little bit more space, but I'm guessing you should be able to fit, depending on kind of how the flow goes, probably like somewhere around 500, maybe closer to 600. It just really depends on what you're putting in the boxes. This shelf here has the front row completed, and again I still got all of this right here. Obviously I just showed you guys that, and I still have another shelf up at the front that needs to be put up, but again I'm not in a hurry. I'll get there when I get there. I figure if I can do 300 to 500 items skewing in the system per week, it'll go pretty fast. So I did have some items that I'm getting ready to ship out. So these are just a pair of Tiva sandals. These are kind of more durable. Typically the ones I find are more like the slip-on kind of, I guess the more bendable flip-flops. But anyway, these are, I mean, they're kind of heavy. I did pick these up at the bins. Probably like $3, and they sold for $25 plus shipping. All right, so this is a Chipotle hat, and usually I pick up all employee hats, especially if it's like a place like Chipotle, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, you name it. Something like this cost me probably like 25 cents from the bins, and I probably held on to this one for it's probably like 3 to 6 months, so it's been a while. I have like a ton of stuff like this in inventory. I got Domino's hats, Marco's Pizzas hats, you name it. But this one sold for $10, and I think the shipping was what, $6.99. So you're talking about turning 25 cents into a $17 sale. So I got a couple of these going out this morning. It's just these Adidas soccer training pants with the ankle zip. They seem to be pretty popular. These are actually for women, and I found these down at the bins probably like a couple of months ago. I probably have the same exact pants in inventory, probably times like 5 or 6. I got a bunch of stuff like this. But anyway, this one's probably $1.50, and these sold this morning for $18 plus shipping. So these are a pair of American Eagle curvy straight. I believe the size is a little bit bigger size of women's 16 short. I don't know if a lot of people pick these up like the distressed jeans. I still grab them, and usually they move, I mean, not super fast, but I still can move them in a reasonable amount of time. These are probably, let's just say on the conservative side, somewhere between $2 to $3 from the Goodwill outlet. And these sold, I want to say late last night or early this morning for $22 plus shipping. All right, so I started using this glue back in 2021 or 2022. And I have probably like 5 to 7 pair of shoes right here that need to be fixed, and not going to show the demonstration here. I just figured since I kind of looked back and noticed that I still had these laying here, that I kind of show you what's kind of going on. So this is right here is a pair of Hokas. So typically in a situation like this, if you were to find these down at the retail store, typically they'll still price up damaged shoes at $10-20, and so you probably wouldn't want to pick these up there. I mean, because you still got to pay the price plus fixing it. But let's just say if you found these down at a place like the bins and they're only like $2 to $3, in my opinion, if you are familiar with kind of how to do this process, it may be worth picking up, because in this situation the shoe has a little bit of separation on the bottom, and it may seem kind of overwhelming, but once you kind of get familiar with using that product that I just showed you, you can literally fix this in less than 5 minutes. And this is a $40 shoe. And so once you glue it, tape it, you're just basically playing a waiting game till it resticks. And then you can sell these. And something like this probably wouldn't even take long to sell. So that's kind of what I do. I don't pick up a ton of shoes nowadays that need to be resealed. These were just shoes that I thought were worth it because the repair wasn't going to take a whole lot of time, and so won't do all of these today, I'm assuming, or probably just do the Hokas and maybe like one other pair, and then just probably do the rest throughout this week that we're in. The second pair of these Adidas soccer pants that I was telling you about just a second ago, these right here are actually for men though, a smaller size, a men's small, and found these down at the bins too. These are really light compared to some of the other men's soccer pants that I picked up. So these are probably, I would say, like right at $1.50 max, and they sold for $20 plus shipping. So this is my first time picking up this brand. I found it down at the bins probably like 2 months ago. It seemed like it was kind of like a Patagonia quarter zip. Well, the brand is called Drake. Like I said, it's my first time grabbing it, and probably will be giving it another look in the future because it sold under, I want to say maybe like 45 days, and I think this one sold for $20 plus shipping, and this one probably cost only, let's just say, $2. All right, so I did have one return to process this morning. So this was from a lot that someone bought. I think they bought 5 items, and they returned these 2 because she said they simply didn't fit. She didn't want to return them, but I mean, I understand not keeping something that's not going to be any use to you. But anyway, it was a pretty good deal for her, and so I don't think, want to say altogether she got the 5 items for under $40. So I mean, these probably won't be a whole lot to return back. But anyway, I'll probably get that refunded this morning. And then it's summer, so hopefully shorts and maybe even this Nike Squirt, hopefully I can get it sold before fall, hopefully. All right, so this is the last of the Adidas track pants. These are right at that vintage mark. I believe these are from 2008. Yeah, they're from 2008. You can see on the little small tag right next to the fabric and size tag. So August of 08. And these are a little bit heavier. I probably spent, let's just say, somewhere between $2 to $3 from the bins, and they sold for $22.49, and I think the shipping was $8 or $9. And it's a weird price, I think, because these were, I want to say I was running like a 10 or 15% off sale. All right, so the Hokas are fixed now. If you can remember, it was the right shoe that was kind of coming undone on the back left corner, and that's been resealed down, so it's in really good, a stable condition, just like the left shoe. I didn't show exactly how I did it in this video, but if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description to a video in case you're kind of wondering how to do it on any shoes that you may have. Alright, so it's probably the last item that I'm going to have time to show before I have to get everything packed up for the mailman. So this probably one of the, well, maybe the best sale of this morning. So this is just a pair of Crocs, and they kind of have this diamond print going on right around the strap, and they are, what I say, yeah, they're a really small size. A woman's 5, may even be for someone's daughter, but it could be a woman as well. But anyway, this was from the Goodwill bins. They probably cost, these are really light, probably not even $1, and they sold this morning for $30 plus shipping. So that's why I always pick up Crocs. If they're in good condition, they usually go in my cart, because I want to say the shipping on these were like $9. You're talking about being right at a $40 sale on probably, like I said, $1 investment. But anyway, this is where I'm gonna cut the video off at. I got to get these items shipped out. Like I said a couple videos back, the mailman's really been running a little bit faster this summer. I don't know, it's because if there's less packages or what's going on, but this is where I'm gonna cut it off at. I appreciate y'all for coming along with me. If you got anything out of it, like it, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch y'all right back here on the next video. Succeed.
This might be all that I know. Think it's okay. I've got a long way to grow. At my own pace. Go the long way. No one taught me how to walk, but I figured it out fine.